Hi guys, this is SoccerKalitzStyle. As you know, the show that brings you all the latest in football and football-related news. And I want to welcome you to our newest section of the program called Meet the Members. This is something we thought about. It just gives a little bit of incentive to all the guys that takes part in the SoccerKalitzStyle program and the shows and all the posts that we post. And this is just a platform so we can meet them face to face, and you can also get to see who the people are that you are dealing with. Today, with me, I have a very special guest, Mr. Asheln de Kock. He's all the way from Moscow, Russia. Can you please just introduce himself to the show and tell us a little bit more about you, Mr. Asheln?
Hey, gents, everyone. This is Lucy. I just want to apologize. I might go like I might speak Afrikaans because I'm speaking to you. So that's just like how I am. So yeah, what was the question again? Can you come again?
Yeah, listen, man. The
Tell
question
everyone
is,
about me a little.
tell everyone about you. Who is Asheln de Kock, first of all? Where you at? What you doing in Moscow? What is a colored guy doing in Moscow? That's the question.
Yeah, but that's a question. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm from Paul, guys. Grew up in Paul, so spent all my life there. So I'm here now. I'm in Moscow. I work as a teacher, so all ages, not all ages, but you know, your teens, your kids, and adults. And yeah, life in Moscow is nice, guys. Life in Moscow is nice, and it's not an everyday thing where you see like a colored actually in Moscow. Learning Russian is tough, bro. It's tough, but yeah, it's good to be here, bro. It's good to be on the show. And yeah, I follow you guys a lot and stuff. So it's what you doing and what you created. You know, it's something good. You know, where we could all connect and you know, by mekaar kom, like they say in Afrikaans.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
short for the ad.
yeah. Most definitely. Listen, Ashlyn, I'm just gonna put you on the spot a bit there because I know you're a teacher and you're teaching English in Russia. But can you give us a little bit of Russian here on the #SoccerKalitzStyle show?
Ciara, bro, that is on the spot. What can I say? I can probably say hi, hello, like привет, is hello. And хорошо is like good. Like there are some I can't actually speak yet, but yeah, I can say basic stuff, but it's difficult, bro.
Listen, man, Ashlyn, what is the life like in Moscow? You said life is good in Moscow. Could you be a bit more specific? I know the other night you were walking around about 12 o'clock at night to the shops. So is the crime rate really low there?
Yeah, in the city, like I live in the city, so in the city it's chilled, you know. You can walk when you want to, where you want to. Basically, just like it's. I won't say it's like Cape Town, because yeah, there you can expect anything. You know, anything can happen to you.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can go, you can walk wherever you want to, whenever you want to, as long as you just you know stay in the limelight or in the light. You know, the street lights. Just follow the street lights. But yeah, I haven't heard of anything bad happening to people in Moscow, so it's relatively safe.
but you're not like the Michael Jackson song "A Stranger in Moscow." You are very well known in Moscow.
Not well known, bro. Not well
Not well
known.
known.
Yeah, because they aren't like we are the minority, you know, like coloreds or African people. So it's when they see someone different, you know, they want to know, they want to speak to the person, you know.
So, Ashlyn, do you find that the people out there are friendly or are they a bit hostile when it comes to when they're seeing a brother from Africa?
Okay, generally speaking, I can't now speak from my own. I'm going to speak from my own experience as well, but generally as
Yeah,
well. You know, people take a lot from how you speak, like in the tone you say something. If it sounds too harsh, you're gonna take it like as offensive. And Russians, they sound rude, like they sound aggressive, like the language. So when they speak English, it's not their first language. It comes across as rude. So you guys will probably think that, yo, look at these people, look at these people. They speak like what is ik nou a vark, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
like that, but it's gonna come across like that. But that's not what they mean. So yeah, they nice, bro.
So listen, man. Roderick says greetings from Cape Town. As you know, Roderick Fransman is one of the partners here on the #SoccerKalitzStyle program. A very, very, very special friend of mine and a Ghana supporter and a guy that is really true to my heart. So he sends greetings from Cape Town.
Oh yeah,
Roderick,
short Roderick.
thanks for joining in. Listen, Ashlen, the other thing I wanted to ask you quickly before we head into your team is Moscow itself. When it comes, how long have you been there right now?
Yo, it's been a while. I left SA in 2019. So that's August 2019. So it's been like almost 2 years, and I only started learning Russian like recently. Like at the beginning of the year, I just decided, what, as a Khalid, I need to learn different language, as they say.
Yeah.
Khalids never give up, So yeah, I've been here for quite some time, actually.
Okay. Cool, man. So tell me, where did you hear the first time of SoccerKalitzStyle?
Mark Fredericks, we had a chat the other day, like a couple of months ago. So he told me about you and you guys and what you guys do, and I need to check out the channel. And so, yeah, so he sent me the link, and I followed you guys on YouTube, and then I saw you guys also on Facebook. So I just followed you guys, see what you guys are doing, and it's lekker.
Yeah, man, and we're
Nah,
really happy
that's.
that you're joining us. We're really happy that you're joining us. Listen, Ashlen, we just started this little program most, as you can see the name itself, man, what it stands for. You see, we are proudly colored, you understand, and we don't need to buy anymore in terms of if people then say this is an African thing or this is a European thing or this is a Brazilian thing, you understand? Then there's no problem. So I just thought, listen, this is hashtag soccer colored style, and we do it for the colored people because the colored people doesn't necessarily have all the right tools or all the right environments to be seen on a platform like this. And why do we always have to go in and look overseas to guys to give us information or to tell us what they think about the locker room just because they have been in the locker room? But we also have our own way of seeing football. You see, let me just listen here what Roderick has to say. Apparently, President Putin is the wealthiest man on earth with a staggering 200 billion net worth. The only fact I know about Russia, deadly cold. That's what I wanted to know. What are the winters like in Russia, my man?
Yo, bro, it's cold. It gets really cold. Like even now, it's a bit chillish. But the weather forecast said it was going to be like 23 max. But the weather changes quickly, bro. Oh, like it was a sunny day this morning when I went out. Now it's cloudy. What the fuck? Oh, I almost swore there. But so winter, not a nice place, bro. Not a nice place. It's nice in the beginning because it's the temperatures drop. It first starts to drop. In November you see drop like 5-0. December hits. It's also around about 0, but then it hits like the minuses, and you think like, yo, when is it gonna stop? You go outside, it's cold, and then it gets to like -50 maybe December, Jan. But the worst thing for me is it was fine in the beginning. Like the first winter, it wasn't really winter. They said it was like the warmest winter in 19 years or so, or 20 years. So that was nice. But the last winter, it starts snowing here in December. Then the snow just pile up,
Yeah.
and it stops, and it snows, and it stops, and it snows. And by Jan, Feb, you just see snow every day, all day. And you think now you miss the sun, and then you get that one sunny day, but it's not really warm. Like the sun is actually bad for you, especially when it's like snowing, because the clouds, they make like a blanket over the sky, so it's actually nice to walk outside. But if it's an open sky, open night, it can get around -20, -25. So
Damn,
it's tough,
that
bro.
is really
But all you
cold.
have to
That's
do
really,
is
yeah.
all you have to do is you have to wear layers of clothing, a t-shirt, a shirt, a jersey, a jacket, something like you have to layer up. But other than that,
Yeah.
people enjoy it because it's nice. It's not like South African winters where it rains a lot. Yeah, it snows a lot, but you can actually walk outside if you want to. Like it doesn't make people sick.
So the last question about Moscow, what I wanted to ask you, Ashlen, obviously you miss home. That's a given fact. Everyone would miss home if they are so far from their houses. But would you trade Russia for South Africa? Would you ever come back? Are you thinking about eloping? Are you starting a family that side? Are you going to be a Russian citizen? What is your feeling like?
um, I don't know. Well, my eyes, like I have my eyes on like what's the best way to succeed. Is it going back to South Africa that's actually struggling? I don't know when the economy is going to be like. I don't know when it's going to recover. And I'm just waving up my options. I'm like, South Africa is not a good place maybe for the next 10 years or so. Because we don't have jobs. We don't, like, people are losing jobs and stuff. So for
Yeah.
me, just to stay here, learn Russian. And it's a big if, like, if the opportunity is there to become a citizen, why not? It's a plus. Why not take it? You know what I'm saying? So in the long run, well, it's probably better to stay here for me. Stay here, I've got a stable job, and it's going nice. And I'm also learning in the trade. So it's just about growth, just go for it. And I do miss, I miss Paul the place. Oh no, I miss the place, yeah, like the feeling of being home, but I don't miss being home. Because for me, it's like this: the mentality of the people around us. It's like it's a big difference, like of a continent, how people think, and the way forward. And you have to get outside. You have to go like abroad to see this, and then you probably have a different perspective, of life. So I'm gonna stay here, bro. I'm planning on coming home for a visit, but I'm gonna stay, bro, because life is
Come and
nice.
listen. Organize for me also a visa, man. Organize for me a visa for that place, man. I can also come and teach some English there, or whatever you want me to do. I can even sweep the street there because apparently that's a communistic system. Is it the truth? What is the politics like? Is it communistic?
Well, it's nothing like South Africa, so um, I don't know.
In
Like
terms
I'm not
in terms of
interested in
okay,
politics though, but uh-huh.
let me be let me be more specific. Um,
Mhm.
a communism system, does everyone earn the same type of wages, even though they do what type of job?
Um,
Because that
I don't know.
that's the perception, and that's what we always been taught about Russia.
Um, I can't say much about politics because I don't know much, and I don't want to actually know more about like the politics because that's just not my business. You know what I'm saying? But what I can say is that if you want to go abroad, just decide to do something that is earning like where you can earn like a decent salary. You know what I'm saying? So if you do plan on living, well, in every country, you have your stages. You have your lower class, you have your middle class, and you have your upper class, higher class, or whatever. And the same with jobs. So it works both ways. You know what I'm saying? But the averages, yeah, it's definitely much higher, yeah, than in Cape Town or in South Africa.
Okay, cool, man. Enough about politics. Enough about Russia. Rodriguez just has the last question on 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 Russia. Any local team you support locally there in Russia, and how are the football vibes over there?
Um, Football is big. I think it's the most popular sport in Russia. Though there are some sports, that where people are really interested in, but I think it's football. I don't have. It's a tough question. Um, Over the years, the only Russian team, no, there are two teams like from Russia that I supported. Not supported, but always backed the underdog, Spartak and Spartak Moscow, or Spartak Moscow, and
Spartak Moscow, yeah?
CSKA, and CSKA. And between the two, I don't know. I don't know who to support yet, but I like the CSKA colors, the red and blue. I love the colors.
Yeah. No, listen.
It's like Barcelona colors.
Yeah, the CSKA team has been in the Champions League quite some seasons. So that we know about them because they do play, but it's not like the Russian league is that competitive. But yeah, at least they are in there, right? That's that.
Yeah, then
That's Ashlen. That's Ashlen from Moscow. That should say just a little bit intro about him. Now we want to know football. Ashlen, which team do you support?
bro, it's sad, but I'm a United supporter, man, bro. United,
Manchester
U.
United.
Man United. It's sad, man, bro.
But why is it
It's
sad?
sad what's happening.
Why is it sad?
It's sad what's happening, man, bro. Because there are lots of problems, at Man United, and I don't see them like being resolved anytime soon. So, you probably want to know, like, so what is the problem? What are the problems? Basically,
Exactly. I don't like vague answers. I don't like vague answers. I would like elaboration on each and every question. United is sad to be a United supporter, but you ended second in the league, 14 points behind Manchester City. You've beaten Manchester City 2 times this season. You're showing progress under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What's his name? This boy Greenwood is starting to play football. Rashford is just Rashford running around, being a prima donna. Fred, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes. Are you happy with your squad?
you are so many questions there, my bro. Like, okay, so I'm not happy with the squad. Definitely not.
It's actually one question.
Are you happy with the squad? No, definitely not. My question that I always ask is, how many of these players actually go straight into the starting lineup of a top four, other than us? So how many of our players walk into these Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea or Spurs? How many of them can just quit and walk into one of those teams? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Like, if you support the club, and I only see Cavani being a bench player up front. Greenwood probably makes it. Rashford probably too. I don't know. Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, maybe. I don't want Basaka. I don't know if he would start in the top four. David, obviously, but we've got Edison, we've got like Alisson. There are so many guys that you don't know. Maybe not even Lloris, because he's the captain of Spurs. Um, so I don't know how many of our players walk straight into those clubs. And if your answer is no, then Man United being one of the biggest brands in the world, you know what I'm saying? In terms of generating money,
Definitely.
shouldn't we be dominating in that field? You know what I'm saying? Before we come to the football we play, can we just focus on, are these players good enough? And the answer is no. So how did we
So
end up? How did we end up being second? Is
it,
Ole
it just goes,
Ole
it just goes to show how bad the others was. Roderick says, how do you feel about your squad and your coach? Do you think United will go out this season for the title? Will they overcome choking on the bigger stages? This is from an Arsenal supporter.
okay? Let's answer this quick. How do you feel about squad and coach? I'm not happy with him, but maybe if you give Ole like better players in key positions, hopefully he can retain his position. Probably not first, but hopefully can retain being second like next year. What's the it goes so quick. And I see, yeah. Oh no, I can't see anything. What was the other question from Roderick? The previous one. There
Okay,
was a
let me
second
just
part.
go back to that one.
Um,
Let me just go back to that one. Let me just go back to that one. He spoke about
okay.
choking on the bigger stages.
Ole choked. Right. The players didn't choke. Ole choked. Maybe he'll learn from it because this was his first like real final. It was the European final. So, and it wasn't against a big team, but I don't think I think he just needs help around him. You know what I'm saying? A good director of football that's going to tell him what to do. And I don't see them getting into finals maybe because the other teams are going to be better next season. I don't know. I don't know.
The next question he asked, will Sancho Ramos be your missing link to success?
Okay. Okay. So what do we need? What do Manchester United need? They need
To
at
go for
least a
the
defensive
title. To go for
midfielder.
the title.
No, like before you can go for the title, you need players who can actually take you to the title, right? Because
Yeah.
that's how I see it. So we need to get between what's the guys, Fred and McTominay. Like we need somebody to do the job they do. Um, we need a fast centre back. You guys know that we can't play a high line because we become mincemeat. Teams like Brighton, they score two quick. And you're like, what the hell? What's going on? And then we sit back again. So we need centre back, center defensive midfielder, and probably like a winger. We don't need a lot of wingers because we've got Ahmad, we've got other players. We've got Martial coming back. So I don't feel we need another winger. I just feel like these other guys, they need to get chances because players like Rashford, they're not providing for the striker. They want to score themselves. So yeah, maybe Ahmad probably needs some time. Martial, he's gonna create. He's gonna go past someone and pass because he's not selfish. Obviously, when he's in that top left corner, on the edge of the box, he's gonna take it. But otherwise, he'll probably square it, whatever. So if and when we get those positions and the other teams haven't strengthened their teams yet, probably stand a chance to win something. But I know Chelsea, they're gonna probably splash because every new manager gets a checkbook from Roman Abramovich.
Definitely.
Liverpool are gonna strengthen. City, Pep, City, they're just gonna keep on spending. Like the whole City team can probably start for like in every position of all the teams. Probably like the whole City squad, you can say that starting lineup and bench, they start everywhere in all teams. So, and they're also going to strengthen again. Like, you let Guerrero go, so that's just like where the club is at the moment. Where their club is. where they are. They are so far ahead that they can say, Aguero, you can go. Who does that?
You're not part of our plans anymore.
Hmm?
Ideally, before we head into the transfers and the
Mm. Okay. I wonder if our friend is offline somehow. Okay, so I might as well answer some questions. If he's not here, let's see. Roderick, you still here, right? Hmm. Definitely not title contenders.
in general. And here I'm back now alone. I hope Ashlen is going to join me again in a couple of moments because I think he's just got cut out. Let me just see if we can add him back to the stream. Um, okay, just put him back on the stream. I just hope Ashlen is going to join us. Ashlen, are you there? Okay, okay. Where is Mr. Ashlen? You know this thing of technology. This thing of technology. He's just throwing us out. Okay. Seems like Asheln is back with us. Yeah, so we're just chatting to Asheln de Kock, straight all the way from Moscow. He's a Manchester fan, and he's really psyched about the season. We asked him a couple of questions, which he's still busy answering, in terms of what he would like to get this season for his team in terms of names and not rumors. He spoke about strengthening in certain positions. He said he needed a centre back. He said he needed someone and McTominay. But we would like to know some names that would make him happy. So, Ash, who are those names that you would like to see come to Manchester United this season?
I don't know. So I spoke about, needing the best. You need the best, obviously. So the best would be, I think, um, the best centre back that is available at the moment is what's his name, Varane, or he's probably the best guy at the moment. Value for money, I would say. So I would go get him because he's got a World Cup with Pogba. You know what I'm saying? So if you get him, like that's sorted. You don't have to worry about who plays next to him. Just like he's the new Maguire. He's gonna take all the spotlight. He's gonna cover everything. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be like a Bailey 2.0. You know what I'm saying? He's a better Bailey, and that's what you need next to Maguire. I don't know. The next best thing you can get, or the best CDM at the moment is probably Rice, because he's 21. He's captain material, so he's a huge force. He's a character, and he's 21. So you're gonna pay 70 or 60 or 50 for him, whatever. But he's better than Fred and McTominay combined. you know, that's like him. He's like Hulk, bro. Like that. He's a statue. He's like a statue in the middle. You can't go around him. So I'll go get him, and he's English as well. And then probably a Sancho, because he's the hot potato and he's gonna make a lot of cash. in terms of shirt sales and marketing and stuff. So I would probably get him. And the three of those, we will definitely play better football with those guys there. Because then you free up space, you know what I'm saying? Now you can play a Pogba and what's this guy? A Pogba and a Bruno in the mid. Even if Bruno's not there, you can play a Van der Beek there. Someone, you know, now options, you know, comes open. You can play Martial on the left, you can play Rashford on the right, you can play Greenwood up front. Like now you can explore with your team because you've got Varane, he's gonna kill, he's gonna eat everything. You know, he's gonna be there before Maguire. You know, he's gonna get to every ball first. So you've got Varane at the back. You've got young Rice, captain. He's probably going to become our captain if he comes to South Africa. Not South Africa. Why am I speaking about South Africa? Manchester United. So I miss home. Okay, and then those three signings would make a significant difference, you know, in the way we play.
So you want Varane, you want Declan Rice and Sancho, and that would make you happy. And that's a war chest of around about 200 million. But I don't think that's enough.
I won't say 200. I won't say 200. I won't say 200. But
Roderick
probably
says
160.
Roderick says Jerome Boateng, Ramos, Xavier Hernandez are all free agents. Would you say these guys are past the sell-by dates?
Probably, yeah. That's why they're for sale. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're free. There's a reason why. Man United, we in the stage of building, and we need the now, and for the next 3-4 years. So the Ramos is the now, but he's not going to be. He's going to decline, and probably 1 more year and he's done, or 2 more years and he's done. We've got Boateng. He's probably 35 as well. So definitely not them. Xavi Hernandez, like, this is what Arsenal do, you know. This is not what the Man United do. Like, we buy young, and we sell when they like pass their prime. That's what we do, you know. But we need experience at the back. How old is Varane? 27.
Yeah.
You know, the French team, it's so strong. You can see it in the semi-final. Doesn't matter what semi-final. You know, you can see them playing in the semi-final. So he's probably going to get another major international trophy with the Euros and the World Cup next year. Next year is the World Cup, by the way.
Yeah.
So
listen, I just wanted to speak. I wanted to speak about that quickly, Ashlen. I'm a French supporter since 1998, and I've never been disappointed in my team. You know, the only disappointment which I got in my team was 2010 in South Africa, when things got haywire, when Zidane wanted to play for Algeria and that sort of stuff, and the whole politics and the whole French team were just in shambles. And after that, they came back a bit stronger, 2014, and then eventually in 2018 they won the World Cup. And you could see it now. The other day they were playing. They were just playing effortless. There was no real effort in what they're doing. They're just running around. You listen, man. To give you a better understanding, there's a chemistry in that team. There's a chemistry in that team that is second to none. I see the other teams are gelling. I watched the game of Spain and Portugal. Spain looks like a hot prospect. Portugal is still finding their feet. Italy certainly surprised me last night with that result, and Insigne running around, and they also look like a threat, and also the Germans. But yeah, as you said, there's always room for the French in a semi-final. You can go now and bet your money on the French going into the semi-final, because that's what I'm gonna do. Roderick has a question. Harry Kane would be perfect for United. Bruno feeding him all day long. Do you agree?
Maybe, yeah, but not how we're playing right now. Do you see Cavani scoring 25 goals next season? Premier League goals. Do you see him scoring 25 goals next season?
Yeah.
Cavani. What do you think?
No. I see him doing it. But that just depends on what Ollie's doing this season. Listen, man, Ashlen, I love
Uh-huh.
football. I watch football. I love United. I love Cavani, the El Matador. I'm just in love with the guy because that guy is still one of the old school fighters. He fights for everything that he wants. He fights for every ball. His movement, his intelligence in front of the box, what he does with the ball, his finishing is clinical. Um, if you put behind him and you put on the wings, you should really make use of Daniel James because Daniel James is gonna be. You don't need Sancho. Listen, man, you don't need Sancho. To tell you the truth, there's nothing hot about Sancho. Sancho is just the English boy who's overrated, and because he came from Manchester City, he's now the talking point. Yeah, I can see what he's doing at Dortmund, but what does he do for England? The boy Saka comes
Mhm.
through. The boy Saka comes through and shows them how to do it. And what about all the big names? They can't do anything. And I'm not speaking about this because I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm just being biased because I watch all games. Sancho for me is overrated. That is the fact. Um, so,
Okay.
but
Can I?
for selling for selling shirts and him being English and yeah the whole English core thing and that sort of stuff would fit perfectly for the United profile. But listen to me now today on the 6th of the on the 5th of June. If you sign Sancho, he won't make a difference to your team.
I think not. Okay, so I disagree with most of what you said. I'm a United supporter. I know. I watch our football all the time. I analyze. I overanalyze. Um, I would say Dan James. He's probably what the Leeds need. Like a team that's gonna be attacked. A team that's gonna be driven. Back. Go back to your box. We here like a city. Um, and he's good running in behind, but he's not technically gifted, is he?
No,
he
he's
he's
not.
not. He's not. He doesn't have the flair of just gliding through players. You see Dan James running at the player, kick left or kick right, and then he crosses or he shoots. He's not going to carry that ball, between the players, and that's the players United need at the moment. Rashford can't do it. He's also a flip left or flip right. The players that can or are able to do those things would be a Sancho, a Martial, a Greenwood can do it because he can take you left and right. So for Team United, we are becoming a possession-based team, and teams are going to sit back, and they know we're not good at that. So we need players who can trickery around other players. Who can make tricks, who can beat the player, then pass. Then we are going to create chances for Cavani. But we can't just shoot from left or right. We need to go around players like the City would do, flip. And we need players who can pass the ball. Fred can't pick a pass straight down the middle between two players or McTominay. We need players who can do that. The Rice can probably pick a ball from the middle line straight to the box, flat into the direction where he wants it to play. Where he wants to play it. So that's what United need. We need a Sancho on the right. Because most of our attacking play comes from the left, Luke Shaw. So we need someone on the right who can take that into his hands, and maybe then Wan-Bissaka will become a better player. But now, I don't see us doing much damage if we don't get a Sancho or someone else who can create. Because Cavani's got how many goals? And it's gonna continue into the next season unless things
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah, listen, Rodri just has another comment there. Jack Grealish is on everybody's charts. Yeah, I think Jack Grealish. Everyone wants Grealish. We don't even have to chat about Grealish and what he can bring to any type of team because we know Grealish is a beast in terms of what he
Uh-huh.
can do. Um, the one question he would like to know is what is your top four prediction for this season, for next season?
I would City probably again. I hope. My gut feeling says Chelsea. My gut says Chelsea because Tuchel is a guy to look out for. And he's gonna get the checkbook again. So Chelsea's got the squad. City's got the squad. Liverpool they don't have the squad. United don't have the squad. Spurs not even close. Even if they get Kante, he's probably gonna come. He might get them top 4, but I only see Chelsea like going head to head with City for the title. I don't see United and anyone else coming close to them.
So for you, it's Chelsea and City running the show. No Liverpool in
Yeah.
there. I'm not gonna mention Arsenal right now. I'm gonna
Liverpool
mention Arsenal.
definitely. Liverpool will
I'm gonna
definitely be in it. So those three, fourth spot is going to be, it's going to be one either for United, Leicester City, Spurs, Arsenal. We're all going to fight for top 4 for that fourth spot. But those 3 guys on top, your Chelsea, your City, and your Liverpool, I think they are going to be even better next season. So, as you said, this season was a fluke, So everyone, like all the whole of top 4, we were poor, all of us.
Yeah. Listen, man. On that being said, you said Thomas Tuchel is gonna get the checkbook again. What does he actually need? What does he need to buy?
That's a good question, because that's questions a City, a Liverpool, and a Chelsea would ask. Not something United would ask. United would be, what do you need? Not what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't need anything. Chelsea, they don't need anyone. They've got the squad. They've got like 2, 3.
They don't need
but
anyone.
It's just like, what do you want? But we'll say, hey, go find someone and bring him to me and I'll pay you. You know what I'm saying? That's Roman Abramovich. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Let's spend the money. So I don't know what. I don't. They might want a Haaland or a Kane. Because that's the only thing I think they need. Timo is not doing it.
I think Timo's gonna come good next season. I think Timo's gonna come good next season. The only thing Timo needs to work on is his finishing, man. It's not actually finishing that's bad, Ashlen. I think it's his composure. His composure is lacking in terms of when he gets to the box, when he gets into the final third. He gets flabbergasted. He doesn't know what's happening now. He just sees the headlights and he just wants to score. He's not thinking anymore. A striker is what Tuchel needs. Werner in the man. Number 7 is cursed at the bridge. That's what Roderick says. Just to remedy what you also just said about Tuchel needing a striker. But what about Tammy? What has Tammy done wrong?
I don't know, bro. Like you're naming so many names, bro. It's Tammy Abraham.
This is the SoccerKalitzStyle show. There's a lot happening here, my man. There's a lot on the show. There's a lot on my mind, and I always need to ask questions. Because what has Tammy Abraham done wrong? Not to start as a centre forward, because that's what they need.
He hasn't shown the quality. That's about it. Like that's probably one of the reason why they lost so many games. Like they create, but they couldn't score. You've got a Werner there. He's missing from. Oh my God! Like it's something you would expect from a Rashford. You don't know if he's going to actually catch it right or not. He's like a dodgy player. So I would say they are looking for a striker. I think they are going to get someone and then let them rotate, because Werner can also play, off the left. He's not stupid.
Yeah.
He can create.
I think that's where he needs to play. I think that's
on the
where
left.
he needs to play. Yeah.
So Chelsea, like they don't need anyone. Like Kante is still gonna be Kante next season. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a Kane or a Haaland. Maybe Salah even. If he decides not to sign, they might even be interested in him, because he's gonna score you 30 goals.
Okay. Listen, man, we just have to wrap this up. I know I've taken a lot of your time. Just the last 5 minutes, because we have to be done just before 6, because there's some other obligations that I still need to get to. What's the time there by you now?
So we exactly an hour ahead of you guys. It's about 6:52. So 8 minutes to seven. Sorry, should be eight
Okay, so
minutes to six.
okay. Let's just read a couple of comments from Roderick. Giroud on the bench, won everything, but yet not competent enough. That's a fact. World Cup winner, starting for France each and every game, um, doing the job, but yet not competent enough. I don't know what Chelsea's looking for. Chelsea's looking to bring back Lukaku. Yeah, that's the rumor. Chelsea's looking to spend some big bucks to get Lukaku back. But yeah, let's let's see what happens because Conte is going to leave, and I think Lukaku is going to leave with him because I don't think Allegri is going to fancy Lukaku because Allegri doesn't fancy that type of striker. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and also Inzaghi's no sorry, it's Inzaghi, not Allegri. Allegri went to Juventus. Inzaghi.
Mm-hmm.
Inzaghi doesn't fancy the type of strikers like Lukaku. Inzaghi likes the type of strikers that gets in behind. He doesn't like those powerful ones that play with their back to the poles. But yeah, with that being said, my final question for you and to end off this show, Mr. Ashlen, and thank you for your time. Do you think, and to be honest now, you are criticizing your Manchester United squad, what your lacks are and what your incompetencies are. Um, then and that just brought me to this question that I thought I should ask you. Player for player, player for player, in terms of the attack. I'm not going to go into the defense because in the defense, player for player, you are far better than Arsenal. But in the attack, player for player, do you think Ashlen as a I know you're a United supporter, but put on your bias hat right now, a neutral hat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think player for player you have better players than Arsenal? And you have to think very carefully about this question now.
I
Because look at us, look at us. I'm speaking about potential also and the starting 11.
I think I have to say yes. I think that United do have the better squad as midfielders and strikers or forwards as a whole. Like how many of our players can walk into your starting lineup? Bruno Fernandes straight,
I think,
you
I
know.
think only one. No, I think only one. To be
Okay.
to be honest, Ash, Roderick says looking forward to see you more on the show. Yeah, Roderick, I think he's gonna be more on the show because Ash really likes the camera. I can see he likes the camera. Um, listen, Mr. Ash, um,
Mhm.
there's one player. There's one player that can walk into that team from your side. Maybe two, but two at most, and that's gonna be Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw would walk into that team. I would take Luke Shaw and I would take Bruno. But none of
Mhm.
the others.
A,
McFred,
a
Tommy,
Greenwood, a Greenwood.
yeah, for potential wise, but look, we have Martinelli, we have Bukayo
Okay.
Saka.
Yeah.
That's why I told you potential wise, we can also speak about the potential and also the starting 11. Currently on my left wing, I have Pepe. You know what Pepe did this last half of the season. You know what he's capable of. What do you have on the right? Dan James or Rashford, which you know
Greenwood.
runs into and you need that player like Pepe that you spoke about that needs to when he gets to the byline, he needs to now do something. He needs to now take a
Mhm.
trick out of his bag. You understand? And Pepe has all the tricks, so that's why I think we have better on the wings. We are better on the wings. Um, the reason I would take Luke Shaw is not for backup, but I would play him and Kieran Tierney together. I would play him and Kieran Tierney together because I don't think he's better than Kieran Tierney. Um,
Mhm.
no, not that I'm bantering. I'm speaking of my team now. I don't think he's better than Kieran Tierney. I think they are both similar players, but his attacking flair is a bit more than Kieran Tierney's. He has a bit more tricks up his sleeve, and he has a bigger engine, right? Strikers. I would say Lacazette and Aubameyang are far better than what you currently have. The best striker you have is Cavani, right? If
Yeah.
we're gonna be neutral right now. On your defense, I'm not gonna take anyone except Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. And then Roderick says you can take William for Fred.
William, nah, not William. No, not William. Not William. Okay, I don't know, my bro. And yeah, I probably agree with you most of the things. Agree to disagree, actually. Because we do have a decent squad. I think Mattis would make your starting lineup because he's still good on the ball
Yeah,
today, and
yeah,
he's still a good leader
yeah,
of the ball.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
Probably someone like Matic, Bruno Fernandes, not even Rashford. So I think a Martial would make your team because he would play your type of football. Like he's not selfish. Like he can actually do something. He can create. He can swivel around people. He can glide like a Messi. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yeah,
Martial's
no, we can.
footwork. So yeah, he can probably not walk into the team, but be a contender. Yeah. Oh my God, so
He
much to
can
talk
get his
about.
minutes. He can get his minutes. Listen, man.
Zaka
There
from
we go.
Matic.
We have to end up. We have to end up the show now. It's almost 6 o'clock. Thank you, Roderick, for all the comments. The last one he said is Zaka for Matic. And Bellerin is Saka is better than Bellerin. That I agree with. Listen, Ashlen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you again. I'm going to link you up again. Is there anything else you would like to say to the hashtag SoccerKalitzStyle people who's going to watch this video afterwards or who's currently joining us?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for keeping the channel alive. Everyone keeping the channel alive, and the good initiative of having a prize at the end for maybe someone with the most influence, whatever, on the channel for the month on the channel. So big ups to you guys. Keeping the channel alive, and I love what you guys do. Keep on doing it, and thanks Roderick also for commenting. We're keeping the show alive. It's keeping
Always,
it interesting. So
always.
yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing. I support you guys.
Okay, man. Listen, I think Roderick just want to say the last thing he says is Belgium for the European champs. Yeah, we're gonna speak about that again. Listen, I thank you very much for the kind words, Ashlen. Thank you very much for joining me. Jumped on the channel first time and for love with the channel, and also seeing the vision that we try to put out there, that our voices can also be heard all over the world in different stages, and our intake on football. And yeah, as you said, the incentives that we try to put in place, that is just to show the appreciation for what the guys have
Mhm.
done. Because listen, to me, this is like therapy. There's never been a show like this for our people where we can chat, where we can say our thing like we want to say it. Soos aan 'n Afrikaans afeindig, kyk jy dis hashtag SoccerKalitzStyle. As you know, the show that brings you all the latest in soccer, al die soccer nuus en voetbal noem ons dit in die Kaap, Ashlen is van die Parel. Ons het elke week het ons Massacre Weekend of the Moment. So check it out. Join us on our Facebook pages, on our YouTube pages, all our social networks, Twitter, all that things. Peace out. This is hashtag SoccerKalitzStyle signing out, and also Ashlen signing out all the way from Moscow. What is that? How
Cheers,
do you say
guys. Salute,
goodbye?
Masakinis.
How do you say goodbye in
Goodbye.
Moscow? How do you say goodbye in Moscow?
Das Vidania. See you
A
guys
bit
soon.
louder, a bit louder.
Das Vidania. Das Vidania.
That's Vidania from Russia, Moscow. We're gonna drink some vodka. Enjoy your vodka further now with your lemonade. We are signing out.